Just like that. Yeah. Folks, this is a recording. I'm sorry, we're not live. But today, on this particular day, which is, I believe, April 4th, you'll receive an unseen live event that was live. And we decided to stand. We're like, you know what? We're grown-ass men. We're going to stand up and play rock music. So that's what we're doing at this juncture in time. Instead of sitting... There you go. You can just move forward and be the tallsman. And I'm using my, people ask, I hate to be repetitive for those who have seen many of these shows, but there's so many other people out there that, of course, haven't seen them. But I get questions all the time. Hey, what is that guitar you're playing? This is one of my signature Reverend, the most recent iteration. It's a Gristle ST. There we go. And this one, it kind of looks white in the picture, but it's actually like a very light blue, like a sonic blue, but it's transparent. And the wood is Carina, burnt, or as they say, roasted maple neck. Burnt, roasted, depending on what part of town you're from. And of course, it has my Fishman. Ooh, did you see a little Fishman old moniker in there for a second? These are my new signature Fishman pickups. I did have the Gristle King engaged on that song. I can also use this friendly neighborhood new. Another little cool device is the new Tone King Imperial preamp, which I also have using. I'm using this amp behind me here. Oh, I got to go to the ups. There we go. You see the Royalist back here. That's the amp I'm using. Royalist. And it's feeling so right. Anyway, we're going to play a little something else with this rascal. We're kind of messing around with that Jimmy thing. Let's do that. Swirly sounds are good for your soul. Swirly sounds, they're out of control. Steve Andreoni on the bass, ladies and gentlemen. He drove all the way in from Wauwatosa from beautiful, is it Brookfield? Waukesha. I was out in Waukesha yesterday. I met up with my brother at a tasty feast out there in the Waukesha lands. Home of Les Paul, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you're aware of that. Home of Les Paul. Home of Les Paul. Waukesha, Wisconsin. But Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, home of Dre. And Divrin. And Steve originally. He was a Tosan. And then he lived in Los Angeles. And then he lived in Detroit, Rock City. Now he's back where he belongs, behind the cheddar curtain, where the men are men and the cows produce delicious dairy products, ladies and gentlemen. Happy cows. And sometimes they're spotted cows. That's a delicious beverage for a lot of the peeps. Listen, we're going to do a song right now that is a song from the new blues record. And it's called You Can't Lose What You Ain't Never Had. As long as I got the Univibe on, I'm going to keep it on. I'm going to go. And it's going to feel so right. Arrow, arrow, arrow. 2, 3. Had a sweet little girl, lost my baby boys, ain't that sad. I had a sweet little girl, lost my baby boys, ain't that sad. You can't spend what you ain't got, can't lose what you never had. Lord, you can't lose what you never had. Lose what you never had. Woo! Had some money in the bank, got busted, ain't that sad. I had some money in the bank, got busted, ain't that sad. You can't spend what you ain't got, can't lose what you never had. Lord, you can't lose what you never had. Can't lose what you never had. Had a funky little shack, got burnt down, ain't that sad. I had a funky little shack, got burned down, ain't that sad? You can't spend what you ain't got, can't lose what you never had, can't lose what you never had. You can't spend what you ain't got, can't lose what you never had, can't lose what you never had, can't lose what you never had, yeah. Redeer. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a song that says Redeer. You got to stand back and you got to stand firm. You got to stand back and you got to stand firm. You got to stand back and you got to stand firm. That feels good. It feels right. I'm having fun playing blue guitar today. Sometimes I need a little more gas in my cans. That sounds like it's illegal. Folks, welcome to our grand show. Don't forget that to like and subscribe and to share. To like and subscribe and to share to us. To like and subscribe and to share. And you may be noticing we've been posting a lot more short length content. What do we call it? Short-term content? Short form. Dylan's been posting all that stuff. Dylan's on a mission. He's got on a mission. He's on a mission, and it feels so right. He's on a mission, and that shit feels so right. We're gonna do a song right now that is from it's an old tune of mine. Let's do a little bit of Absinthe for the kids. That's right. It feels so good. That was a song called Absinthe. That was on a record called originally Defenestrator. And then there was a compilation called The Grip, and it was out on that as well. It's an exciting selection. Minorish, yet mysterious. Have you watched Severance yet? Did we talk about Severance? Oh, they're doing their work. They don't know what they're doing. What is this work we're doing? It's mysterious and important. That's that last song. It's mysterious and somehow important, at least in my twisted mind. Ladies and gentlemen, in my twisted mind. Listen, folks, we're doing shortened versions because we're recording these in advance so that we have more stuff for the people. And so we're going to leave you on that song with mysterious, important songs. And we're going to rejoin here momentarily, but it'll be momentarily for us, but it'll be like, another time for y'all when we're probably out on the road. But if you're watching this today on April 4th, greetings to you. And we'll probably see you here with Steve again next week, Friday, if you're around. And then we'll be here with probably the burner on Monday, if all things align correctly. But we recorded this one today because I have something mysterious and important at 4 o'clock. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Gregory out.